So, have you ever really stopped to think about all the invisible systems working behind the scenes to keep us, well, healthy? Not just you and me, but our entire community. Today, we're going to dive deep into the bedrock of public health, breaking down the three core pillars that hold the whole thing up.
I mean, thinking about your own health is one thing, right? But how in the world do you protect an entire community all at once, from threats you can see and the ones you can't? It's a massive challenge, for sure. But the answer is actually built on a really smart, elegant strategy.
Okay, so let's use an analogy here. Think of public health like building a giant, super resilient house for everyone. A good public health system isn't just about running around fixing leaks after they've already started. Nope. It's about designing and building a structure that's strong enough to weather any storm right from the get-go.
And this public health house of ours, it's built on three main pillars. You can think of them as a giant shield for our community's well-being. Each one has a different job, but they absolutely have to work together. So let's get into it and start with the foundation.
All right, first up we have pillar number one, health promotion. And sticking with our house analogy, this is the concrete foundation. It's all about building a culture of wellness from the ground up, long before any real problems have a chance to take root.
So what does health promotion actually mean in practice? Well, the official definition talks about enabling people to increase control over their health. And that word right there, enabling, that's the magic ingredient. This isn't about top-down rules. It's about empowerment. It's about giving people the tools and, just as importantly, the environment to make healthy choices easily.
And look, this is so much more than just telling everyone to eat their broccoli. Yeah, encouraging healthy behaviors is part of it, but the real game changer is creating environments where the healthy choice becomes the easy choice. That means weaving this stuff into public policy and getting the entire community on board.
Okay, so what does this actually look like out in the real world? Well, when we talk about creating supportive environments, think about things like public parks or new bike lanes. For healthy public policy, a perfect example is those smoke-free laws for restaurants and bars. And for encouraging healthy behaviors, those nutrition education campaigns in schools are a classic. See? These aren't just little suggestions. They're big structural changes that make things better for everybody.
Okay, foundation's poured. Let's move on to our second pillar, which builds right on top of that. This is disease prevention. Now, if promotion was the foundation of our house, you can think of prevention as the entire security system. We're talking smoke detectors, deadbolts on the doors, a full-on alarm system, all designed to stop threats before they get in.
So here, the focus gets a little sharper. Prevention is all about zeroing in on specific diseases and the things we know cause them. The goal is simple, but man is it powerful. Stop the illness before it even has a chance to start. It's all about playing proactive defense.
And, prevention has a few different layers. The absolute best-case scenario, stopping a disease from ever showing up in the first place. But it's also about screening to catch things early. If we can do that, we can slow it down and hopefully prevent some really serious problems down the road.
And these prevention strategies, they're literally all around us. Childhood vaccinations, that's a huge one, a cornerstone of public health. Screenings like mammograms or even just a routine blood pressure check, that's all about early detection. Even your doctor advising you to quit smoking. Yep, that's a targeted form of prevention too.
All right, time for our third and final pillar, health protection. So going back to our house, this is the emergency response plan. This is the what do we do when a huge external threat is heading our way, like a hurricane or a major disease outbreak or some kind of environmental contamination.
Health protection is all about safeguarding the entire population from those big external threats. We're talking about things like infectious disease outbreaks, environmental hazards like air pollution, or making sure the food we eat and the water we drink is actually safe. This is that huge, overarching protective shield.
And the goals here are massive, right? We're talking about the absolute fundamentals of a functioning society. Safe food, clean water, breathable air. This is the pillar that covers the systems for controlling disease outbreaks and, just having emergency plans ready to go for, well, pretty much anything.
This is often where you see government agencies and regulations really step up to the plate. You know that letter grade you see in a restaurant window? That's food safety protection, right there. Contact tracing during a bad flu season? That's outbreak investigation. And the fact that someone is constantly testing your tap water? That's environmental health monitoring, working quietly in the background to keep all of us safe.
Okay, so let's do a super quick side-by-side. Promotion is all about building wellness by empowering us. Prevention is about stopping specific illnesses by intervening. And protection is about safeguarding the whole community from big threats. 3 different jobs, 3 different approaches, but they're all working towards the exact same goal:
A healthier society for every single one of us.
But here's the thing. These pillars almost never work alone. They're a team. So let's look at a real-world example to see how they all come together to solve a problem.
So imagine this challenge. A specific neighborhood is seeing way too many traffic-related injuries. Now, a true public health approach isn't going to just try one thing and hope for the best. No, it's going to deploy a coordinated attack using all three of our pillars.
So, first up, you've got promotion. They launch a big street safety campaign to encourage people to drive more carefully and be more aware as pedestrians. Then, prevention comes in and changes the physical environment. They might install speed bumps or paint some high-visibility crosswalks in dangerous spots. And finally, you have protection, making sure that the local emergency medical services are totally prepared to respond quickly and effectively if an accident does still happen. See how they all play a critical role? That's what a complete system looks like.
So why should you care about all this? Well, because whether you notice it or not, these pillars are shaping your world every single day. They're the reason the food you eat is safe, they influence the design of the street you cross to get coffee, they're behind the quality of the very air you're breathing right now.
So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. As you go about your week, start looking around. Try to spot these pillars in action. Which one do you think is the most visible right there in your own community? Promotion, prevention, or protection? Just think about it.
Hey, if this breakdown gave you a new way to look at your community, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and maybe subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep making these explainers for you.
And by the way, if you're more of a listener, you can find the audio version of this explainer on all the major podcast platforms. We've dropped a link for you down in the description.
And last but not least, we really want to hear from you. What's another big topic you'd like us to tackle and break down like this? Drop your ideas in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.